welcome to another video of Walk with Phil. And today I'm in Smethwick, and what I thought I'd do today is just take you along Rolfe Street here in Smethwick. Before I do that, I thought I'd show you GALTON Bridge. GALTON Bridge is a very famous bridge, constructed by Thomas Telford. When he built the bridge, he also constructed the new mainline canal that runs underneath the GALTON Bridge. Yeah, I'm just standing at the entrance now of GALTON Bridge, and there's a sign just here. It says GALTON Bridge, built in 1829 by Thomas Telford. When completed, the GALTON Bridge was the longest single-span bridge over the largest earthworks in the world. The bridge was named after Samuel Galton, who was a major shareholder, and his plaque was donated by the Hardy Group in 2008. It's now just open for pedestrians and cyclists now, but for, I don't know, 140 years or so, this bridge carried all manner of traffic, lorries, vans, cars, and it's more or less gone more or less unaltered since it was first built. And yeah, this is the first time I've ever walked along it, and it was constructed in Horsley Foundry in Tipton. The majesty of the bridge can't really be appreciated once you're walking across it. I think we would really need to take a shot from the side, but you can see the drop. The canal was the replacement for a canal that was built by James Brindley, and James Brindley's canal had several locks along it, and there was a lot of disruption with that particular canal. As the canal traffic increased, queues built up to go through the locks, so they asked Thomas Telford to construct a new canal, which he made a 70-foot cutting, which was quite huge in the day, and created the new main line canal. There's the original lamps on top of these pillars. Across GALTON Bridge, there's a bit of a walkway down by the side of, just off GALTON Bridge, and as you can see, we've got a bit of a view of the bridge. This was probably the largest single-span bridge in the world when it was constructed. The other bridge in the beyond that is a railway bridge. I think it was built originally for the Stour Valley line. There's Rolfe Street just ahead of me. Now before I cross the road, Toll House Way, I'm just going to go a little further ahead and show you a couple of statues that are here in the centre of Smethwick, commemorating the lines of the Great War. Just show you what it says on there, on the plinth. And just behind it, this used to be the statue that would grace the centre of Smethwick, and it's a larger version of a small device called a centrifugal flyball governor. And this actual device was created by, or should I say invented by, James Watt, and apparently this invention regulated the flow of steam pressure. I think it has been rumoured in the past that it's quite a rude looking statue, if you like, and this statue had prominent place at one time, but as you can see, it seems to have now been surrounded by trees, and you can't really see it anymore when you're driving along Toll House Way. I wonder if what the reason was for that. Okay, I'm just ahead of Rolfe Street. I'm going to try and cross this extraordinarily busy road, Tollhouse Way. Ahead of me that road goes into Birmingham. Just here we got SMETHWICK ROLFE Street station. This was originally built in the 1852. It was rebuilt in 1890. Internals of this station was updated in 1995. Just here where the Sandwich Club is, that used to be a pub on the corner of Western Road. It used to be called the Station, and it's opened in 1870 and it closed in 1970. And just next to it, almost next to it, would have been the Theatre Royal. And to commemorate the fact that there was a theatre right there, we got a plaque outside the SMETHWICK ROLFE Street, closed in 1932 because the owners of the theatre went bankrupt, even though the theatre was still open for boxing matches until 1940, when it was finally demolished. It was on this site here. Next to that there used to be some residences which caught fire in 1929 with the loss of 11 lives. So yeah, it was all along here where where those railings are. Very difficult to walk along here because of all these parked cars. There's a large piece of ground here. I think it was industrial, had industrial use once. But this could be the last chance to filming down here, because very soon a large swathe of buildings to my left will be demolished soon, including some, I believe, some rather historic buildings like the old post office and the fire station. There's a large corporation depot that is also to be demolished, and they're going to create it to around 600 residences, houses, flats, that sort of thing along the canal. Going to have to go on the road. Can't get down a pavement. Laurel and Hardy actually came down this street, Rolfe Street, because in the week commencing May the 12th, 1947, Laurel and Hardy were appearing at Dudley Hippodrome. Now that's sadly been demolished as well. They demolish everything down at these councils of importance. But anyway, it was demolished. And during the week when they was performing there, they also got out and about looking around the area, and they were invited to the Cape Hill Brewery, the big Mitchells and Butlers plant, and spent a few hours there. Then they got in their chauffeur-driven car and came down here in Rolfe Street, along here, to visit a sweet factory called Minto's. Some people say it was called Finnegan's, but as far as I'm aware it was Minto's. But for the life of me, I can't find any record of where that sweet factory actually was. I have seen some photos of Laurel and Hardy in the store, surrounded by jars of sweets, and looking very happy. Sadly, no, I can't. I've no idea where it was. But to think that Laurel and Hardy actually came down here, Rolfe Street, they never came to West Bromwich. The nearest they came obviously was Dudley, at Dudley Hippodrome. And here is the old post office. The old post office, the inhabitants of this area had to go to Birmingham to send mail and collect mail. And finally in 1890 they built this place. So the residents then had their own post office, sorting office, collecting office. But sadly, this closed down in around, was it 1960s, 1968? Just opposite the post office here would have been the SMETHWICK Baths. The SMETHWICK Baths was one of the first and largest baths in the whole of the country when it opened in 1883. But that wasn't the end of the story when it got demolished, because I think you can see one of the old pillars just there. I think that may relate to the swimming baths. But it wasn't the end of the story, because the Black Country Museum are very interested in this very historical building, and they numbered every single brick as they demolished it, and it took them 10 years to demolish it properly, and they rebuilt the whole lot at the Black Country Museum. But from this point onwards now, on my left, past this white van, this was all the corporation depot. and you can see it is a rather long length of buildings that will be finally demolished. I've been here many years. In fact, these buildings here look like there was once houses, terraced houses. There's some old gates there, which says SMETHWICK Enterprise Centre on there. You can see how derelict it is behind the gates. There's a canal just beyond there. So they're going to have some very nice canal side properties and flats along there, I'd imagine. You see all these buildings there. Yes, they'll all be fetched down soon. There's actually talk of building houses along there way back in the early 2000s, but nothing ever appeared to have got done. Just there is Hill Street. I think that used to join a road called Cross Road. That's long gone now. I think there's a little bit of Cross Road near Tollhouse Way. That's the last little surviving bit of that old road. Just here where all this spare land is, I think that used to be a pub called the Crown and Anchor. It was built in 1885. It finally closed in 1975, but the building just hung on and hung on, I think, here. And finally, as you can see now, it's been demolished. Not sure what they're going to do with that. You can have a guess, I suppose. Flats could be the best option, I'd say. Anyway, I'll just cross over for you and show you this building here behind me. This is the old fire station. This was opened in 1910. And next to it is Rolfe House. Those were built in they was built in 1933. Those were residences created for the married firefighters at Rolfe House. Again, whether they're going to be part of this regeneration scheme along there, I don't know. But yeah, so they look fairly new with all these new window frames that they've got in there. But yeah, it's a 1930s build. This is 1910 when the fire station was built. And I think it closed around the 90s, maybe 1993. Very old gate there, leading to the back of the fire station. But with Sandwell Borough on it, it suggests to me that this could go as well all along here. In fact, the whole stretch. I mean, there's no way they're going to keep this building still standing, because in 2019 there was a huge fire at this bedding or blanket or quilting factory, and yeah, this got burnt. It's just a big fire here. You can see the roof caved in, and it's a right eyesore now. Here was a big factory called the Drop Forgings Limited. It's been closed some time now. They're all factory units now. Another place where they do stitching, machinists, overlookers, hemmers. It's to do with clothing anyway down there. There's a very old building at the back there, look. Yeah, the factory in the distance would have been some kind of steel construction company all along here. I don't know what this building was. Looks like it used to be a big hotel. It's now a Punjabi restaurant. Looks like they're having some renovations. What's this road called? It looks like it's called New Street. Cole Street now bends a little bit to the right here as we take in another pub there just on the corner. Well, it used to be a pub. We come to a crossroads, which is Bridge Street. Bit of a tip here, isn't it? Yeah, it's got a bar, restaurant, grill, but it used to be called the Star and Commercial, and that was there. That's been there since 1855. as a conventional pub. It closed in 1997, but it was known more. It was known more as the Star rather than the Star and Commercial. Bridge Street now, we've got Bridge Street North and Bridge Street South now. Used to be one continuous road, crossroads, but as you can see it's been sealed off now, that part of Bridge Street. We'd have had the Dominion Works that used to specialise in tubes. There's some rolling mills and the SMETHWICK Tube Works. We're all along this side of the road, quite an industrial side. Just over there to the right, there was where that old factory's just there. That was called the Britannia Works, and that road is called, I believe it's called Engine Street. Very old road. And just there with a car parking. It was all old houses just there. A lot of houses was dotted amongst all these factories all around here. And yeah, so this was a very old factory here. And you can see here, this is the rolling mill. Still rolling mills. Rolling mills it was back in the 30s. George Jones Limited now. This used to be just there where it's Priories with the Dominion Tube Works. This is George Jones, Rolling Mill Engineers, and Lionel Works there. A very old factory. It's still. Are they still rolling mills though? I don't know. Some of the signs don't always give the true story. All the Britannia Works along here. We're all factory units now. Look. Again, a lot to do with cars. Just here to the left now we'd have the SMETHWICK Tube Works. Very old looking factories this side as well. They're all split into units. Now look. Goodness knows what it used to be, but you can just tell the frontage is at the top there, whole bay look. There's a fireworks one and a sending post abroad place. This one was a light on, creative joinery. And just I'm just going to corner it. I think we got to RABONE Lane. Yeah, we got the signage there saying Rolfe Street, so we're just coming to the end of Rolfe Street, and Rolfe Street ahead, the road ahead will carry on, will continue, but I think it becomes RABONE Lane. Yeah, we've come to the end of Rolfe Street, as it picks up RABONE Lane, and just here, the maltings are, not sure what this was, it a brewery of some kind just here. The old infrastructure still standing. That's where we just come from, Rolfe Street, all the way back down there. Yeah, just this building here on the corner of Rolfe Street and RABONE Lane. It's quite ornate at the top. There's a bit of a sandy coloured arch just at the top there by the roof, by the slope of the roof. I believe that was a pub. I think I know this one. I think it was called the Staffordshire Knot, and it was opened in 1892 and it closed in 1980, but you can see now it's been turned over to a bathroom company, plumbing, heating, merchants. That's the end of our walk along Rolfe Street, and it looks to me as though a lot of the old buildings are going to be bulldozed when they create those that new canal side housing estate. It would be nice if they could keep the post office perhaps and the fire station and try to integrate that somehow into the new builds. Not sure if they're going to do it, because of course councils always knocking down some of these very famous old buildings which really ought to be preserved. But anyway, if you like the video, hit the like button and also hit subscribe. Much appreciated if you do hit the subscribe. It keeps the channel alive, and hit the notification bell for new videos, and I'll see you on the next one.